All right, here we go. I believe this is working, but I'm not sure. Okay, so yeah, it looks like it's going. Are we pause recording? This is the first time that I've ever used this application, so you're going to have to bear with me. All right, so let's talk about geometry. Congratulations, you made it to your first day. For those of you who don't know me, don't have me in class, or if I don't have you in class, I'm Mr. McConey. This is it, people. We made it. Geometry 2021. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. So what are we going to do today? Today we're going to talk about identifying points, lines, and rays and line segments, knowing the difference between collinear and non-collinear points, and as well, we're going to know, we're going to identify intersecting planes. Okay. The song of the day today is Here We Go by Dispatch, because here we go, right? Okay, here we go. Again, what are our goals? Our goals, I want to be able to identify a point, a line, a ray, a line segment, and a plane. Know the difference between collinear and non-collinear points, and identifying intersecting planes. So geometry is a whole different language to us. We have to get used to the language of geometry. In your spare time when you're talking with your friends, like you might use things like this, like TBH, BRB. Well, BRB is more of a old school one. That's something that I would have used when I was your age. LOL, I'm a huge LOL guy. NP, not so much. IDK and YOLO. How about that? So geometry, we're going to use a lot of these. Okay, this is something you'll see a lot this year. Measure of angle ABC. Now, I always throw the line in there like that. You may not have this slide. That's okay. Don't worry about it. You're going to see this line segment, and array. Okay, we're going to play a little game in quotes. Use a capital letter to name me. I am often represented by a dot. This is what I look like right here. I am I bet you guessed it. Yes, I'm a point. I am a point. How do we name points? Well, we just name it how you would think. Point A. All right. Again, this is just getting used to the language. Okay. I am made up of points. I have a definite beginning and ending, and that's very important. Beginning and end. Okay. I am named by my two end points. All right. So if I have a definite end and beginning, that means I am a holy buckets. There's no H in that word. I am a line segment. Wow. That's sick. Okay. So how do we name line segments? I'm going to show you a couple different ways here, possibly four, maybe a few, maybe four. All right. So the way you'll see a lot is just a B. It says I use my endpoints to name. It's important that we put the line over the top. That's very important in geometry. The symbols do matter. So you can tell your teacher what you are talking about. Okay. You could be talking about a lot of different things in our diagrams. We're going to have a lot of diagrams, a lot of stuff going on. All right. So it's very important that you get used to the symbol, or I could write it backward and say BA as well. Okay. Also, for some of us, it's easier to do this. I don't know if, Mr. Wilhelm has done that in the past, but AB, and actually show the endpoints like this. Okay. Just to get used to it, just to know that it's a segment. All right. That is a segment. Well, I am made up of infinitely many points. I extend infinitely far in both directions. I can be named in terms of any points that lie on me. Okay. You can use a lowercase letter, which we'll get to name me. Here is a picture of me. Well, if the last one that had a definite beginning and ending was a line segment, and this one extends infinitely far in both directions, that means this one is a line. Now, I do use the cursive L for my L's, because if I just wrote this, or sometimes I do, I guess I didn't do it here. If I go like this, I don't know, it just kind of looks weird. So you're going to see both throughout these videos. All right. So I am a line. All right. So it says I can be named in terms of any points that lie on me. So the first two, I could call it C, D. And what's very important is that you put arrows in both directions, because it's going infinitely far in both directions. I could do the opposite of that, DC. Remember, you're only going to use 2 letters to name a line. 2 letters. All right. I could do DE. Well, you guessed it. I hear you out there. I could also do ED. Wait for it. Oh, I hear you there too. I could do CE, EC. Okay. Now you cannot do CDE. Now, no 3 letters when naming a line. But the last one says I can use a lowercase letter to name me. Now you can't really see this as terrible copying. That is a lowercase j. All right. So you may see line J. You may just see the little J. Okay. To mark the line. All right. Those are a couple other ways you can name this line. Man, we are having fun. I am too. Okay, so I am made up of, infinitely many points. Are you kidding me? I extend to infinity in one direction. Oh, that's pretty neat. I have a dimension of 1. I have 1 endpoint. That is sick. I can be named by 2 endpoints that lay on me, but I'm always named by my endpoint first because that's where I begin. All right, this right here, this is called a ray. Sorry, it looks like an X. It's going to bother me. I don't know if it bothers any of you. It's a ray. Okay, so I always start with my endpoint first. Well, what's our endpoint? The endpoint is the point where it begins. Okay, it is the point where there is not an arrow attached to it. Obviously, you can see here there is no arrow attached on to the F. So I start both of my names with the letter F. Now, I have 2 options here. I can go F to H, and I can go F to G. Okay. I'm going to want to draw an arrow over the top, just like that. Why is there not an arrow here over the F? Because it is our endpoint. Okay. Remember, if at any time you have a question, please let me know. All right. I won't be able to read your brains or minds or brains. Now, some people like to do this. We'll do that. I've seen that in the past with a point just to remember that F is the endpoint. That's fine with me. I'm not, that doesn't bother me at all. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. What's a plane? So a plane is a surface that if any 2 points on the surface are connected by a dot, all points of the line are also on the surface. Holy buckets. It's 2 dimensions, length and width, which extend infinitely. It has no thickness. I like to think of a plane as like a piece of paper. Okay. Just a piece of paper like that. Okay, that's how I think of a plane. All right. It's made up of a bunch of lines. There's things that lie on the plane. Lines can lie on a plane. My plane could look like this, and I would have lines on that plane. I could have segments on that plane. You'll see an example a little bit later in a few slides here more about that. Okay. This is a big word, collinear points. They're points that lie on the same line. Collinear means points that lie on the same line. Co is like, sometimes it's like cooperative, co-op. Like if you think about in terms of Xbox or something. Yes, I like to play Xbox. So I think about like a co-op mission that's a cooperative one. That's one I'm going to, together, we're going to accomplish this together. Well, these are points that are on the same line. So they are quote unquote together on that line. Okay. Non-collinear, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the opposite. They're not on the same line. Okay. You may also hear this term coplanar. It's when points, all these things lie on the same plane. Okay. And non-coplanar is similar in that it's things that do not lie on the same plane. Okay. Well, I'm trying to get this. Oh, okay. So if a line intersects a plane not containing it, then its intersection is exactly at 1 point. All right. So I'll say that again. So if I have a plane, if I have a plane here and there's a line that intersects it, so I can think about this line as going through it and out the other end, then it's only going to meet it at that plane. All right. Think about it as if I take this pencil here. I got a pencil here somewhere. There it is. And I stick it through this piece of paper. Well, if you look at this, all right, if the paper is my plane, the pencil, where the pencil intersected that plane, so right here, that would be our point of intersection. Okay. If two planes intersect, so if I were to have two pieces of paper, so if I took this piece of paper right here and I intersected it with this piece of paper right there, oh, where would they intersect at? They would intersect on this line. Look at that again. Maybe you could see it. Look at, and look, it's on that line. All right. So let's see. Let me see if I can draw a rough sketch of that for you. If here's one plane and here's another. I don't know if that makes any sense. They're going to intersect at this line. Okay. We're going to go over this next part with you. So look, here is two intersecting planes right there. All right. But we're going to do this next part together. All right. So you are done with this part of the video. Go ahead and head back to class. If you had any questions, make sure you ask those questions.